Now in this video we'll be discussing about couple of statistical function as well as character function and how to write your own function. So I have given you the description for each of them. So probably the right part, denorm, pnorm, qnorm, we'll be discussing when we'll be discussing about statistics, not today, but definitely we are going to learn about the easier ones. So let me quickly go to RStudio. Yeah. So mean, what it does, so it gives you mean for 1 to 5, which is 3. Then similarly you can see that median is a function which gives you median. So what is mean and median? I hope you already know. So if you are still have any problem, then you can go and search on your own, because it would take me again lot of time to give you the simple thing. But in statistics, whenever we are starting with statistics, I will try to cover this part as well. Similarly, you have sum, so 1 to 5, 15. Similarly, standard deviation. So particularly this mean, median and standard deviation I will explain in our statistics class. No need to worry, even if you don't understand right now what is standard deviation, how we are getting the value, no worries, we will be learning all those things in our statistics class. So similarly we have range, we have mean, we have max, all those things for our statistics. And as I said, we will be learning about the right part in our statistics class. Now since we deal with lot of character variable, like suppose you have your customer name, customer location and customer other attributes, those are mainly character in nature. So lot of time we have to actually manipulate and clean the data before we actually use it in a model. That's why we need to know couple of simple example in character function as well. Let me quickly understand. Yeah. So suppose you have these three names, Abhilasha, Renu, Manish. Okay. Similarly, you have another one also, which is Abhilasha, something like that. So what you would think that this Abhilasha and the first one is actually two different customer, but which is not true. So how would you understand? Because R would see there is a difference between this capital B and small b. So that's why you can actually convert everything into a to lower. So what it does, to lower function, it converts a string to lowercase letter. Now if you see Abhilasha and Abhilasha both are same, and now if you pass that same unique function which we learned earlier, then you would get only Abhilasha, Renu and Manish. Instead of 4 customer, you would get 3 unique customer. Similarly, these two upper actually convert a string to a upper case letter. As you can see, A has been converted into caps A and Abhilasha is again written in caps. Now, what this sub str does, so it actually checks. So let me come here first. So what substr does, so it extract or replace your substrings in a character vector. So how it does, how it extract, so it has a starting point and a ending point, and it does on top of x. So if you come here, so suppose right now your x is a b c d e f, but you want to take from second position to fourth position, so you would get b c d. Okay. Similarly, what about graph function? So it actually searches a pattern in X. So like substr actually extract, but this graph function find a pattern. So you can say I want to search BCD in the whole string, and so this is the string where you want to find, and you can also ask whether you want to ignore the case or not. So if you ignore the case, then even if it is a capital or lower, it doesn't matter. If you find the same number of letter, you would actually get the result. So I will show you in an example. Let me show you in an example. Suppose you are creating a new variable called z, where you want to store watermelon, then water space melon, r h2o, water space blue space water. So many water, right? Now z is having this string. Let me show you. Yes, you can see. Now what I am calling grep function, and I am saying what is my pattern, what I want to search. I want to search water. Where I want to search? Z. So if you see how I am passing the value, the same concept which I discussed earlier, that it takes a lot of argument, but I don't need to give all the arguments, because even if I don't give anything, it has some default value and it would work in that way. But these are the two things I want to give. I want to give pattern and I want to give X. So if you just search for grep function, then definitely you would get a documentation for grep, as you can see. And there are so many arguments and there are a lot of variant as well for grep. So you can learn, and you can learn on your own. As you can see, pattern is your first, then on top of what you want to do, that is your second argument. Whether you want to ignore the case or not, that is third argument. Then fourth, fifth, and all those things. And if you remember, what did I say? So suppose you want to use only this fifth position, so you cannot remember where I want to put it, in fifth or fourth. No need to do it. You can simply say the name of the argument and then you can pass the value. That's how I am also doing. So I am saying let's find water in Z. Now it says that it has in the first character and then in the second. Now why it did not give me this water? Because I have asked for capital W. But if I say now ignore case equal to true, and why it was not searching it? Because by default, if you see, by default ignore case is false, and that's why it was not giving me the result. But now we have now I said I changed the argument as true, and now I am trying to search. Now you would find 1, 2 and 5. That's how you would get it. Now the sub one, so what a sub does, so it find a pattern in X and replace with replacement text. Okay, so suppose you find water, so you are saying that find water, and wherever you find water, you just replace it with H2O. So what it would do? So right now, so if you want to see Z, so from anywhere you can select Z and you can ask what is stored in Z. Similarly, you can also only select Z here and you can ask what is there in Z. So you would be searching for water, water and water, because I have said ignore case equal to true, and then you are saying replace it with H2O. Now if you see, now all the water has been replaced by H2O. Now there is a little bit of difference between sub and G sub. Now if you see, this sub has replaced not all the water. Wherever it finds the water in the first time, it only changes there. So if you see, there was a water and it changes to H2O. But after water blue water, it has changed to H2O blue water. So it did not change this one. Why? Because that is the difference between sub and G sub. So sub only replaces only at the first place, but G sub replaces at all the places, wherever it finds, at all the places. Now the same code but with G sub. And now if you see, so now it has changed that same water to H2O as well. Okay. Now the last one is about paste. So what this paste function does, so you can actually paste two word, two letter, but there will, like suppose you want to paste Rajiv and Laik. Now you can get the full name. So this is name and title. So you can get the full thing. Okay. Now I think this is these are actually interesting couple of function which we discussed, but there are a lot of other function which we will be discussing in this course, and there are a lot of other function as well you would be learning while in your journey as a data scientist. So I would suggest anywhere you find a function, you simply try to search with that question mark and you would understand how it's been done. So now we will be discussing about how to write a function in our next video.